Listen live now and on demand at omniaudio.africa.
Strength starts with smart choices. Add 82 Foods barley and split peas to your diet for essential nutrients that support muscle recovery. Train hard, recover harder. Brought to you by 82 Foods Africa. Good food, good health, good life.
Omni Sports Breakfast.
All right, so it is not the sports news. I'm Romy Titus, Kevin McCallum here as well. But I'm here with my, that Sherlock Holmes, that huge magnifying glass, because Joburg Super Kings joined Kaizer Chiefs for their 55th anniversary celebrations. And I'm interested in terms of like this cross-pollination, if you would, between cricket as well as football. And why? Because if you look at Chiefs, they're arguably the biggest team in the country. They have roughly over 16 million fans. That spills over into Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia. It's probably more than that. It's just a figure that I could find to just kind of paint the picture of how big a Kaizer Chiefs is. But a lady who would know better than I do is Marketing Director for Kaizer Chiefs, Jessica Motaung. And she joins us on the line now. Jess, good morning. Happy Monday.
Good morning, Romy. Happy Monday to you too.
I'm sure it's a very happy Monday after that score against Kokune United.
No, definitely glad to see the boys getting the 3 points. And we just need consistency and make sure that we just keep flowing and moving up the ranks.
Jess, it goes without saying, if you take a look at, let's say, the big three clubs, of which Kaizer Chiefs is one, Sundowns as well as Pirates, when it comes to the marketing, it's hands off. I don't think anybody in the Betway Prem has gotten it as right as Kaizer Chiefs. What is the secret?
Look, I think we definitely are very serious about our brand and make sure that we really want to connect with our supporters, and hence the initiative that we're talking about with the Super Kings, making sure that we really are able to take our brand to other markets, take our brand to other audiences, and also partner strategically to make sure that the Chiefs brand continues growing. So very diligent and deliberate in terms of how we get the brand to market, the activities, the alliances that we forge to make sure that the brand continues growing.
I mean, Chennai Super Kings, which obviously are the owners of the Jersey Super Kings, who also then own the Texas Super Kings, the Major League Cricket there. Why important then to infiltrate this market? Do you feel that perhaps on the continent you've got it right? And I mean, if you take a look at Chennai Super Kings, which is the second most supported franchise in the IPL, is that it? Is it a numbers game?
Well, I think it's a numbers game in one instance, but also it's a game to get into new territories. For us, the US is a big territory. We have inroads into Atlanta, which we'll be leveraging even further. But certainly the US is a big market. And for us to get into that space, we need the right partnerships. The Indian market is a massive market for us. We've got a huge fan base here in South Africa. And again, how do we make sure that we grow into that space quite extensively? And certainly, obviously, the work on the continent is not done. I mean, we've got some exciting initiatives on the continent to continue making sure that the brand grows. But certainly it's a numbers game. But also, I think it's also a strategic partnership in terms of also promoting South Africa. I think that's very key, promoting Johannesburg. So it really is a lot more. And then it's about learning from each other. I mean, there's so much that we can learn from them, but certainly there's so much that they can learn from us. So it's also collaboration and then exposing our support base to a sport that South Africans all love, and how do we do that with a partnership that can take us to the rest of the world too?
How is it about, I guess, elevating Johannesburg? I guess it's nice. It's nice for me to see, I guess, it's not just footballers watching football now, And often if it is that I've asked a footballer, what other sport would you have played? The answer is 8 out of 10 times cricket.
Cricket,
so, yeah. So it is like a nice collaboration and a fusion. But ultimately, Jess, I know that in the back of your mind, there's the bigger reason in the picture, apart from just the exposure.
Oh, certainly. I mean, I think it has many commercial returns as well. We're looking for it to have commercial return, brand growth return as well. But certainly it's also about promoting South Africa, promoting tourism within Gauteng, within Johannesburg. And you're very right. I mean, if I look at a lot of footballers, and some of the guys attended the game over the weekend, many of them said, I'd have played cricket. If I look at Kaizer, I mean, he had the opportunity to play as far up high as playing cricket at Lords in the UK. So certainly there's a cross-pollination. And I think we're going to do some exciting stuff with the players playing the different sporting codes toes with each other as well. But certainly for me, what's important is that it's the growth of our brand, it's the commercial growth of our brand, and then the commercial the growth of our support base. And then, like I said, marketing Johannesburg. Johannesburg is a great city, and I think we need to bring more people into this country, into Johannesburg, and make sure that the entertainment value that we bring is exciting. And it'd be very nice to see cricket supporters coming in and watching games here in Gauteng and in Johannesburg.
Does this spill over also into the derby? Because, I mean, that is what is big on the footballing calendar for Feb. 1st of Feb is literally around the corner.
And it's sold out
Correct.
already.
No, it is sold out already, but I think that is another thing. I mean, the derby is, many people travel the world for derbies, and we want our derby to be one that people come and travel and watch as well. So definitely something that we want to see growing further. And hopefully we can export the derby also. Imagine playing a derby in India. Imagine playing the derby on the rest of the continent. These are things that are happening. You've seen it happening with the NFL and what they've done in the UK. I mean, now you have a team like Tottenham who actually have a fixture, several fixtures actually, and have infrastructure. I mean, I visited the stadium. They have 2 NFL dressing rooms. Which is amazing to see that now they've connected and cross-pollinated in such a way that they have now a calendar where the NFL is actually playing in the UK.
What is big, I mean, that's landed on your desk that you want to do differently this year, and in a way that fans will see Chiefs differently? There's the plans and you've given us a sketch, but is there any behind the scenes, something that you can expose just to say, look, this is what you can expect?
Look, I think for me, Romy, it's all the time improving the fan experience. I think that's something we, as Kaizer Chiefs, are trying to improve. So the fan experience for me, working very closely with the stadia to say, how do we make the fan experience more exciting? And you'll see some exciting partnerships coming out of it. We have a number of initiatives that are coming out in terms of launching our supporters club to also make sure that we give value at different tiers and at different levels, But certainly the fan experience for me is something that people will start seeing be very different at the stadiums in terms of delivery, in terms of access, and just also excitement and entertainment. And I think that's what cricket also shows you. I mean, if you look at cricket, the entertainment, yes, the entertainment value, the production side of it. And I must say, well done to Lynn and Graham and Betway for the work that they've done. And I'm hoping through the collaboration, some of these things can be adopted into the football space. Looking at how they embrace the family experience, something that we've done through the family zone, and really learning and engaging in terms of those experiences that can be elevated for supporters. I think that's important.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. What specifics, you talked about the family zone, what other specifics do you think would be great for a derby or your fan experience plans?
I think the other issue is music. What I love about the cricket space is how music is incorporated into the game. That's something that football is still very. It's there, but it's not as integrated. So that for me is something that I think it can really be part of the experience as well. But certainly, I've looked around and the different experiences that you're getting. Not just most of the time people think of the presidential suites and all the suite experiences, but for me, it's actually on the ground. It's what's happening with the kids, the spaces for families to have fun, the kind of merchants that they have there. So that's the kind of stuff that we're trying to look at and say, how do we bring that more into the game? And I don't want it to be just the Chiefs experience. I mean, we brought in the family zone about 2 years ago. I'm excited to see Pirates incorporating into the space. The guys from Sundowns came through and visited our family zone and said, and I think some of these things need to be industry opportunities that we leverage, so that adopted by the industry, so that not only do I experience that at the Chiefs game, but even when I go to a derby hosted by Pirates, I'm able to have a space where I can take my kids, they can have a great time, and it's different, so hopefully some of these things can be shared with the PSL and we're able to incorporate them.
Maybe even like those chips, because that tomato flavor is just off the hinges.
Oh no, and the chips are flying. They are flying like crazy. I see some other clubs also want to do chips now, which is great, which is really
They're called the Kaizer Chips, are they?
Yeah.
Are they? They're called the Kaizer
That's how the chips came about. But Jess, thank you. Thank you for your time this morning. Thank you for sharing. And I guess we'll closely watch the space as well to see just how Chiefs will penetrate that Indian market and just what comes of it. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you guys, and all the best for the show.
Thank you so much, Jessica Motaung, their director at Kaizer Chiefs. And I mean, I think it's more than what meets the eye, because if you see that the shareholders of Chennai Super Kings are actually India Cement's shareholders, that's 30%. There's a logistics company at 6.9%. There's an insurance company as well owning those shares. And so it's about the money. Yes, it's about obviously the partnership and a new market, definitely. And like I said, Chennai Super Kings have that fan base, a massive fan base. I mean, they have 41.3 million fans, but okay, they've got also a very big population of like 1.429 billion people in India. So it's going to be interesting just to see this.
Very much. The thing about the cross-pollination is, will this bring more white fans, non-traditional football fans? Will a lot more of them come into the stadium? Because let's say you buy tickets, a season ticket, and part of the season ticket gives you 2 tickets to a Chiefs game. Would that start growing? Is that a market they would want to grow in?
I'm sure.
I mean without being
I hear you, but I mean, fandom is fandom, regardless of where you are in the world. I'll tell you a funny story. I was walking the streets of Paris. It was my first visit there. And I actually walked past a store with my best friend lives there. And I looked in and I was like, Kaizer Chiefs. I was like, huh? And in your head, you're like, but I'm not in the country.
Yeah.
So we go in and we actually ask. And the owner of the store just says, I love the brand. And so I bought some of the stuff and see if people would buy it. I was blown away. Honestly, it's a cute little boutique that has really beautiful things, and in there happens to be Kaizer Chiefs merchandise.
All the big sports shops, Total Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse. They should really call it Sports Person's Warehouse now. I mean, goodness, I'm sorry. But I mean, they all carry Chiefs and Pirates kit, but the most popular selling kit is, despite their travails, is United or Liverpool. But I was just looking now, there's a piece on SNL 24. Chiefs have got fan bases in England, Mexico. There's one in Colombia.
Correct.
There's guys around the world. So they take advantage of it. And also perhaps this way of marketing and cross-pollination, other clubs perhaps need to step up and use this as a means of growing sustainability.
Look, and I'm not saying it.
Another revenue stream.
I'm not saying it because I'm saying it because it's true. Take a look at Sundown's marketing.
Yeah.
Take a look at Chiefs marketing. Take a look at Pirates marketing. You can't join the dots. Chiefs are definitely leaders when it comes to the way that they elevate their brand. And it's exciting to watch. But have you tried those Kaizer Chiefs chips?
No, I don't even know they made the chips. What are they? Sorry, where do you get them? I've on a healthy diet.
Right. Let's not talk about my 3 kilos.
You talk about. But I like what Jessica was saying. I mean, it seems like some other clubs, like let's say Royal M, their entire marketing budget seems to be to employ Mama Joy, and that's spies the shop mentality. To be honest with you, so it's I mean, that's what they need to do. A lot of PSL teams need to basically start acting like adults and businesses.
Correct. And look, at the end of the day, it's about the fan. It really is. Because without the fans, without bums in seats, where is the revenue, right? Without the goals and the team in peak performance, goals is what makes everything exciting at the end of the day. So it's a very fine line between what you're doing for your club, who's coming through the doors, giving the people coming through the doors something so that they do eventually, spend their money, buy the tickets. I guess it's a big ripple effect, and you've got to know who is important in this circle.
Yeah.
Why are you not helping me with words? You can see in the circle.
You kept drawing them too.
In the circle.
But it's live. They can see. We're on YouTube. That's on a camera. Just go, circle.
In the circle, yeah.
This is Omnisport Africa.